The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
25 years ago, when a self-taught baker in California made a white chocolate coconut cake with gobs of cream cheese frosting, she had no idea that she was creating an edible status symbol and a coveted holiday gift to the stars. Not only has the cake been flown by private plane around the world, but Tom Hanks has said he wants it to be the dessert of his last meal. And that's why this episode of On Brand is on Doan's Bakery and the Tom Cruise cake.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on, it's on, it's on, it's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hey, I'm Jon.
Hi, I'm Marisa. And I am on the edge of my seat. Jon has a big surprise for me today. I do not know what the brand will be discussing, what it is.
You have no idea.
No idea what's happening. I'm along for the ride.
I know you're a busy woman. You have children. You have a husband. You have things. You have a house. You have someone that lives in your back house. You have your mom. There's a lot going on in your life.
This does make me quite busy.
Having a mom.
Yeah.
My mom makes me incredibly busy. My mom does.
That's behind the paywall.
Have you thought at all about what it might be?
The way that you're teeing it up, it makes me feel like it's not just like Crest. Like it's not just
not
like a run of the mill. It's not Crest.
Can you imagine if it was Crest?
Nature
I would
Valley?
be so wow. Well, okay.
What
So
could it be?
you've got fluoride Crest. You've got no, this is a very special surprise birthday episode of On Brand. Marisa and I both have birthdays coming up in the next week and a half. So I thought it would be fun to do a birthday-related brand.
Wow.
So then I was like, what would that be? Like, I know what I associate my birthday with. That first thing is Diet Coke. They're the first one to email me every birthday. Literally at 12:01, I get an email from Diet Coke wishing me a happy birthday, and I'm ready to go.
And that's why they are in your will.
That's why I'm
sole
leaving
successor.
everything to the Coca-Cola company. Actually, I'm not. We're not.
This is legally binding.
This is legally, but it's canon. So for your birthday, I think your husband gets you maybe like a certain treat for your birthday.
C's Candies.
Yeah, he gets you C's
Wow.
Candy. That is not what this episode is about.
Great brand.
That would be
C.
a good brand to do. You also really like ice cream. Is there a certain brand of ice cream that you think would make a fun episode?
I love a Thrifty. I love a McConnell's. I love a Ben & Jerry's.
Jenny's.
I love Jenny's. I love
It doesn't matter.
Trader
We're not
Joe's.
doing an ice
Okay,
cream
not
either.
ice
So
cream.
that's out. So
Okay.
what else is left with birthday? For me, one of the biggest and most important parts of a birthday is the cake. And for me, you now make me
carrot cake.
a carrot cake. It's a recipe from my friend Shauna. It's the most incredible carrot cake
This
that
is
there
like
is.
a grandma's recipe handwritten on a card that someone took a picture of. And it's so sweet, it makes your blood vibrate.
It has so many carrots. Like you have to buy carrots at like an equestrian center, like
Yeah.
in like a horse bag size
You
of
have to go to a
carrots.
feed store, get your carrots.
The children,
yeah.
what is it called when you clean?
Grate.
No, like take the peel off.
Peel?
Peel the carrots.
So clearly you've never made the cake.
I've never had the cake.
Yes.
There's a lot of butter, a lot of sugar. And then we've done I think it's David's grandma's chocolate
Texas sheet cake.
Cake, which we haven't done in a while. So good. One of my
good.
favorites, but you can't do an episode on that.
Definitely.
Of course, love sprinkles,
Yes.
which would be a great episode because I love sprinkles and I have a lot of thoughts about them. But it's like, that doesn't seem quite right. There's Entenmann's.
Wait, do you mean sprinkles the cupcakes or sprinkles the item? Because remember when you bought those like fancy sprinkles and then you wrote to the company because they weren't crunchy enough?
No. I don't like it when you do this. If we're going to talk about the things that I've done that don't make a ton of sense, which also I emailed Hostess this week, which I had forgotten 2 nights ago. I emailed Hostess and completely forgot about it. And this morning, I was going through my emails and it was like, reply from Hostess customer service. And I was like, oh my God.
What did you write to Hostess about? Wait, can you read the email? I know we have a lot to get into, but can you please read the email? You do
it on an online form and it didn't send me a thing.
Do you know what it was regarding?
Of course I know what was regarding.
What was
I still
it?
stand behind the email. I just asked them if they could bring Susie Q's back. It's one of my favorite Hostess products. They went off the shelf about 2 years ago. So I literally was just like, hey, could you bring Susie Q's back?
What'd they say?
They wrote back and said, hey, actually, I'm going to tell you exactly what they wrote because it did seem kind of impressive. I mean, not impressive, but like I don't buy what they're selling. So I have the email from Hostess. It's a case. They've given it a case number in case anyone needs to refer to this email again. It's case 559748 in case anyone knows. Their reply was.
Wait, so is that like a number numerically that many people have submitted cases to Hostess?
I would assume that close to 600,000 people have also written Hostess. I'm assuming most of those are trying to get Susie Q's back.
Probably.
Do you know what a Susie Q is?
Is it striped?
No.
What is it?
It's like, it was like a sandwich. It was like 2 thick, chocolate, pillowy pieces of
Like a whoopie pie?
cake with exposed like an inch of like cream in it.
Yeah. I think that's like a whoopie pie, right?
Yeah, but not round. They're rectangular.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
you
I
got
haven't had
2 of
those.
them. They were great. Anyway, this is the reply for me asking. Dear John Glover, thank you
Full
for...
name?
Full name. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. Thank you for your inquiry. We are sorry you have been unable to find Hostess Chocolate Susie Q's. Unfortunately, we've discontinued them.
Oh.
We know how disappointing it is to find a product that suits your taste only to have it to move off the market. Several customers have voiced the similar views, and we are forwarding your concerns to the bakery manager in your area and our executive management team. Sincerely, we can beep out her name, at customer response.
Wow. Did you reply to this email?
I will probably tonight, and I'll forget about it.
I would love for you to be put in touch with the other 6 people who have written to Hostess. You
Several
guys
other people.
can make like a Facebook group or something.
Listen, we all do what we got. If I remember correctly, there was a Bring Back Susie Q Facebook group. See, the thing is, whatever. We've talked about it too much.
That's not what this is about.
That's not what this is about. Anyway, okay, so cake. So let's focus on cake. Is there a cake that you have talked about for, I don't know, 3 years maybe, that you have died to try?
The Tom Cruise coconut cake? That's not what this is.
I mean, that would have been good. So that's what I got.
Oh my God!
The
That's
Tom
amazing!
Cruise
I'm gonna
coconut
cry. I'm so happy.
cake. Babe.
Oh my God. You had to drive. Oh my God. Babe. Oh.
I went to Doan's Bakery, and we'll explain what the Tom Cruise coconut cake is to everybody.
Oh my God.
So this is the cake. This is the large size.
It's gorgeous. A bunt.
It's a bunt
Don't
cake.
you
And
love
just
a
let's
bunt?
just get the description out there so everyone knows what we're talking about. And then we'll explain why it's the Tom Cruise cake. We'll go into the history of Doan's Bakery.
I'm sweating. I'm so excited.
This is the reaction I've been wanting you to have for like 2 weeks when I decided to do
I'm
this
so
episode.
excited.
You guys
Okay.
don't understand how many times she has talked about getting this cake.
And I'm so curious to learn about like how it came to be. but you can order this cake if you don't live in LA. This is not, it's kind of local to LA. How much long did you have to drive to get it?
To Woodland Hills. So it took
Woodland
like
Hills.
35 minutes.
35 minutes. But if you live anywhere in America, you can buy this cake on Goldbelly, and it will cost like $100. I think
it's
even
gone
more
up.
than
It's
that.
$126 now.
$126, and it will get shipped to your house. But it's 40 minutes from us, so it seemed like it would be crazy to order it.
Yeah, and this cake has quite a history. This is how Goldbelly describes it. They start with a ring of moist, luxurious coconut bundt cake, mixed in chunks of sweet white chocolate, layer on rich cream cheese frosting, and then dust it all over with toasted coconut flakes.
Oh my God.
The result is a delicious, pillowy cake good enough to derail the strictest Hollywood diets.
I love that.
I mean,
That is beautiful.
on. This has become like the Meryl Streep of cakes in Hollywood, like always giving a subtle but perfect performance.
This is Nancy Meyers in cake form.
Exactly. So, if we want to get into it, we will eventually have a bite of this cake, but when I decided to do this as an episode, one of the first things I asked myself is like, does it make sense? Is Doan's Bakery a brand or is it a business? So I literally just Googled what is the difference between a brand and a business? And I'll share that with you now. A business is just an enterprise where goods and services are exchanged for money or something else. A brand is an image, personality, and voice behind a business that makes you feel connected to it. Brands are what give businesses the like, know, trust factor. And that's what this cake does. Like this bakery has been around since 1983. This cake has been around since 1998. They've been around forever. And the bakery does a lot more than this cake, but they definitely are now known for this cake and have been at least for like 10 years. Like this is the cake that they do. This is what 80% of their calls are about. This is what most of their Goldbelly business is about. This is the cake.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, I do want to just throw out this out there. My goal is to get on the list that gets this cake. I don't care if it's because of this episode, if this is an ongoing thing that we have to do. I really want to have.
Oh, so tell people what makes this the Tom Cruise cake.
Oh, I will. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But first, I want to talk about the business because I went there today and I was able to talk with the granddaughter of the owner, and we just had a really nice conversation.
This is like journalism.
It really was. I've been researching this for about a week and a half. I've done so much research on this. I'm worried about getting through everything. I was worried that it may not be enough, and I'd done all these other. I have like Tom Cruise segment. I have a birthday segment. I have so many different things to make this a full episode. But I had heard so much about Karen Doan, who started this company in 1983. She invented this cake with her daughter. Wow. I did not know until 2 days ago that she passed away this April. She just passed away this year.
Then that's perfect timing to be giving a tribute episode.
Absolutely. And I had planned to talk to her when I got there because I had read so much about her, how much she just loved talking to people and she would just gab your ear off. She loved talking about the cake. She loved talking about the whole Tom Cruise thing.
We should have started our podcast last year.
I know.
Could have saved her life.
I know. We messed up. But here we are. So I want to start off by asking you why you've wanted to try this cake for so long. Is it because you're a coconut fan, a white chocolate fan? Is it just because it was a Tom Cruise cake? What drew you to it?
I love things that have like a lore to them, where this is something that they did not seek out making this as the iconic, famous cake. This is something that kind of took on a life of its own unexpectedly, and I love things like that. Like I've always wanted to try the Kardashian salad.
Oh, I don't even know what that one is. Is that from a restaurant?
There's a salad near a salad place, like near the Kardashians' house in Calabasas, where they always, if you see them shaking a salad on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it's from this one place, and it's like a kind of just like strip mall kind of place that they just have this like famous salad, and I love things like that just become like insular, almost like insular pop culture. Like this isn't, would you know about this if you didn't live in LA?
No. Now maybe, because that's why I think Goldbelly.
Sure.
And because now it's been written up a bit. But he's apparently done this for 17 years. And I think it's only been in the press for maybe the last like 8. So for 10 years, I'm sure nobody knew about this.
I think this was on my radar first from O Magazine. I'm sure Oprah wrote about it as like one of her favorite things. And you know how I feel about O Magazine. R.I.P. be.
You were very
I could
sad.
honestly burst into tears thinking about losing O Magazine coming in my mailbox every month. I love a print magazine.
You know how I feel about O Magazine. I found it very odd that she would only put herself on the cover.
Is it odd for a woman own Oprah Winfrey Network, O Magazine? Come on.
Just share the cover, but
If you had John Monthly, you would be on the cover every month.
Alistair would be on half the time, and you the other half, and your children, I'm sure.
So I love that it's like part of Oprah's, like, I love everything in the Oprah universe. So I feel like this kind of crosses over Oprah universe. I love Tom Cruise. Like, I feel like he's the last great American movie star we have. And
he's a brand
really
unto himself. Like, he is one of those people. He is one of those movie stars where we don't really have that anymore, where it's a Tom Cruise movie, which was a big thing, like in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, early 2000s. And then they became more like it's a property film instead of like a Julia Roberts film or whatever.
Yeah, so I think we're so lucky. We're just so lucky we get Tom Cruise movies. And he's like getting older. He still looks fantastic. Still doing his own. I mean, he's hanging off dang airplanes, okay?
He is so good at what he does. Minority Report. I've probably seen it 10 times. Like we all went to see Top Gun Maverick last year, and I went like dragging my heels. Like, I don't want to go see this thing. It was fantastic. Like, it was so good, so easy to understand. A popcorn sweat.
I love that as a review, that a movie is so easy to understand.
Well, movies like that, I'm worried that I won't they dumbed it down so much. They're like, okay, this is our mission. This is exactly how we have to do it, and great, I'm on board.
I only understand 20% of movies I see, if I'm being honest. And then sometimes like it'll get 15 minutes in and I'm like, oh God, I didn't pay attention well enough. It's like, well, an hour and 40 minutes to go. I don't know who anybody is. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who their names are.
There's definitely times when I finish a movie or a television show where I go to Wikipedia to kind of go through it and see what I didn't really
Let's just say you're not doing that with a Tom Cruise movie.
No, Tom Cruise, he spells it all out for you.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With a large selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for a new job or want a career change? Look no further than Monster.com. Need a little help standing out? Our expert resume writing services will make sure you shine. Want to brush up on your interview skills? Engage with our AI interview prep tool. Want some advice on negotiating your new salary? Visit our salary tools and extensive library of career advice articles, and you'll have all the tips and tricks you'll need to succeed. Visit Monster.com today and take the first step towards your career. Monster.com. Find your right job fit.
Okay, so we've got Doan's Bakery. They're established in 1983, like I said, by Karen Doan, and she's just this charming baker that has a sweet tooth and loves to talk to people. She's armed with her recipes, but has no kitchen. So for the first 15 years of this business, she's renting out kitchens from different places. She's making her baked goods. She's selling them to her friends who have businesses. So it's, if you go to like the Alcove, they've got bread pudding from such and such bakery.
Wow.
So she's just kind of doing that around town and establishing herself. And it takes about 15 years, but she finally is able to get enough money and opens up her first storefront. And she does this with the help of her son, Eric, who I met today, who's really busy and wanted me to stop talking to his granddaughter because I was just gabbing to her. And he's like, we have some work to do. And she's like, but he's doing a podcast on us. And he's like, well, that's cool. And I was like, no, I'll get out of your way.
They don't need the publicity at this point. They're too busy.
I know. They don't need our viewership. But
maybe I'll go there to get a job.
But he was nice. And he's been helping his mom since I guess he was little. His granddaughter that I talked to was saying that when he was really young and she was doing like the working out from different kitchens, he would do like prep work for her as a little kid. He would like peel the apples. She was making like at that time like apple pie and chocolate cake, and
this is so cute.
It's so cute. And so now here he is with his wife, and they're helping her open this storefront, which just gives them and her a little more flexibility to be able to play around with recipes and create new things and not be running around to do things. So it's around this time, about 1998, where her and her daughter are thinking about cakes that they might want to make.
Great year. 1 year after Titanic came out. We're all basking in the glow.
Pre 9/11, so everyone's still happy.
Spice Girls take the world by storm.
Macarena is probably fading away. She, like I said, has a sweet tooth. She loves white chocolate. Her daughter loves coconut. Long story short, they come up with what is called the white chocolate coconut bundt cake. And I like to picture it like a trial and error process, like in an 80s montage, where it's these two women in a kitchen. She's like gobbing on. She was known for putting on like a ton of frosting.
You
like
love
I picture
that.
that's what I told the granddaughter today. That's exactly what I told the granddaughter today. I was like, I am so mad when I see someone like an Alistair has a nice piece of cake and they're scraping off the frosting or cutting around it just to eat the bread part and not eating the frosting.
When I used to work at Sprinkles Cupcakes, we sold frosting shots.
I know. I think they still do.
It was like a ketchup, ketchup container, like you would get like to-go ketchup, but filled with frosting. People would just be like, "Oh, I'll have 6 frosting shots," and then they just would sit at the counter and just eat them, squeeze them into their mouth, and then get back in their car and go home.
I don't know why 6 seems depressing. Like 2, I'm on board with 2, but if you're getting like the sugar sweats and you're sucking down your 4th one.
Yeah, eat that in your car at least.
Yeah, that's a lot. So they come up with this cake, and it's just like really any other cake. For about 10 years, this cake, it's just another cake on the shelf. And I was talking to them about this. It's a really specific taste. Like not everyone, it's a beautiful cake. We'll put pictures of it on Instagram.
The bundt is kind of a surprising shape.
I did bundt research this week.
I'm sure you did. You have an Emmy.
Did. Well, I don't want to bring up my Emmy, but since you did, no, there was a lot more to bundt cakes than I realized. Like how they came about. You
know what you'd like about the bundt is it increases the frosting to cake ratio, because if it was just like a flat on top,
it gives you
you get more
surface area,
more surface
and more
area for
crunch
frosting.
area. Like it's kind of like that pan
crust
that makes everything a corner piece.
That was one of Oprah's favorite things too. Every piece is a corner brownie pan, where it was like a maze. It looked like a maze you would put a mouse in.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel like
magazine probably like 2006.
I feel like when it comes to food, Oprah and I are probably on the same page
Definitely.
on a lot of things.
Definitely.
But if you'll see the cake, it's like it's beautiful. It's pure white. It's shaggy looking. There's coconut all over. I haven't even eaten a piece of coconut. I'm dying to know. It says it's toasted coconut. So I want to know if it's like crunchy, but I wanted everything to be played out on here. So here we are. Now let's say we jumped 10 years. Let's say it's about 2007. This cake's been around for like 10 years.
10-year anniversary of Titanic.
The 10-year anniversary of Titanic has come out. It's been re-released in theaters for a one-night-only showing. I want to take you somewhere different now, and you probably won't be able to figure out where. Okay, close your eyes.
Take me there.
We're now on the set of Mad Money.
Okay.
Is that a movie you remember?
I mean, I know of it. I've never seen it.
Do you know any of the players in it?
Tom Cruise?
No.
Oh. I guess I don't know it as well as I thought.
I didn't know it at all, so don't be embarrassed.
Okay.
I had to watch the trailer today, and something surprising came out of doing that. I'll get to that in a minute. Mad Money is a movie starring Diane Keaton and Katie Holmes.
Oh, okay.
And Queen Latifah.
All right.
We'll come back to her in a minute.
You have 3 pages on Queen Latifah research.
I did a lot of research on Queen Latifah. All right, so here we've got Diane Keaton.
I imagine you at home with like a board with strings, like you're solving a murder.
Connect?
How does it all connect?
And with me, like a picture of me getting a cake sent to me. All right, so we've all been on movie sets. We work in the business.
Oh, Hollywood, baby.
There's a lot of downtime. So here we've got Diane Keaton and Katie Holmes just sitting around talking about cakes.
Interesting. Diane Keaton has her big khakis pulled up high, or
a
big button-down shirt, a necktie.
She's combing her hair back. Katie is still madly in love with Tom Cruise. They're in a very happy relationship.
Are we pre-Surrey? or post Surrey?
I swear to God. I don't know. Let me find out. Hey, Siri. When was Siri Cruz born?
Why can't he just tell you?
2011. She wasn't born yet.
So we're in a. This is PS pre-Surrey.
Shut up. So here it is. We're just sitting on the set, and we've got these two powerful women talking cakes. Each one of them is convinced that they know the best bakery in LA and the best cake.
Okay.
What are two rich women going to do? They're going to have their cake sent to the set.
Wow.
And have a cake off.
That's fun. Keep the work environment fun.
It is fun.
Do you know what the other cake was?
No.
In the taste test?
And I knew that. You know what? I want to tell you something that I'm now putting in my notes. As you scroll through, you're going to see a bunch of marks, MARQs, and they stand for Marisa Anticipated Research Questions. And that's where I put my point that I think is important. Like in a minute, I'm going to tell you a fact about Tom Hanks. And then after that, I'm going to put, like, to me, that's enough. Okay. This is what I wanted to share. Okay. And then after that, it's like, this is probably what you're going to, the annoying question you're going to ask me.
Well, we'll see.
So I'll have to put that in there.
You don't know what the other cake was in the cake off.
I don't. Okay. So,
I bet it was red velvet.
Well, I will say...
People really like red velvet then.
The granddaughter that I talked to today said they were both coconut cakes.
Oh.
For some reason, I don't 100% believe that.
Yeah, me either.
So I don't want to make that the part of the story unless I know for sure.
Yeah.
Because that seems weird that they both... I have the best coconut cake. No, I do.
Yeah, I
like
don't know
it's such a specific cake, but who cares? So anyway, Tom Cruise eventually gets a bite of this cake. And I want you to picture Tom Cruise in 2007. I'm not going to bring up the
jumping on the couch
incident, but I'll bring it up in a way that, like, he was an excited boy at the time. He's madly in love with Katie. When he finds something, he wants to share it with the world.
This is very Amelia Bedelia, because in Amelia Bedelia...
Quit saying Amelia Bedelia.
Because in Amelia Bedelia gets the instructions for how to clean the Rogers house, and she does everything wrong. Are you familiar with the story of Amelia Bedelia?
I remember Amelia Bedelia, but I don't know if I've ever read Amelia Bedelia book.
So Amelia Bedelia is hired to clean these rich people's houses.
Did Amelia Bedelia wear a maid's outfit in this book?
Yes, she's a maid.
I remember this book.
She does everything mixed up. So if they say, like, change the towels, she, like, trims them into, like, jack-o'-lantern faces.
Oh, Amelia Bedelia.
They say measure the rice. She, like, gets out a ruler, like, stuff
and they're like
that.
Amelia Bedelia? That's not right.
Yeah, so they get home from their outing and they're about to fire her because she, like, screwed up their house. And then the wife sticks a spoonful of lemon meringue pie that Amelia Bedelia made into Mr. Rogers' mouth.
And it's so good.
And it's so good that he says, I don't care what she does as long as she makes us her lemon meringue pie.
That was a perfect analogy. That is how I picture this going down. Tom Cruise, I picture it like in The Simpsons. I know there's like episodes of The Simpsons where they get a bite of food and it's like, that's what he had. And he wanted to share it with everyone.
He kind of seems like a health nut too. So for him to get so excited about a cake.
I love that you somehow always know how to get to the point.
I love that.
He does.
You're so in sync.
Because I'm going to jump down to this. We're now, the annual Tom Cruise Christmas cake list is beginning. I want to say it happened around 2008-ish. But I love that you said that about his health, because Tom Cruise, I watched so many interviews with him and bites of celebrities talking about this cake over the last week. He said that he does not consume sugar when he's training for a high-profile movie, which is pretty much all the time. So he likes to send these cakes out to people and wait for them to call him and just tell him how good it is so he can live vicariously through him. And I know that we know this cake is the Christmas list. He gives cakes throughout the year.
Wow.
Like, I know that, like, if you're his good friend,
a baby or a birthday.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're hosting an award show, a cake shows up. Like, he's the cake boy. And I love it. I hope that is his final movie.
God, that is stunning.
I know. So, who is on this list? How do you get on the list? That is my ultimate question. I do feel like it's something like, I feel like you can end up on this list. And okay, I don't like to bring up my Emmy, but you did. So I was thinking, I always like to joke with people that I'm a quarter of an EGOT, because like that's the big thing to, be in Hollywood, to be the EGOT. You have your Emmy, you have your Grammy, you have your Tony, and your Oscar.
You're well on your way. You're further along than a lot of people.
Well, I have a proposal.
Okay.
Because only 18 people have reached true EGOT status. There's a few more that one of their awards was like an honorary award, but there's only 18 people that have gotten it. But that's still, I think, kind of a lot. I suggest that we change it to the TGOT.
Okay.
So you have to get a Tony, you have to get an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and be on the Tom Cruise cake list in order to truly achieve Hollywood success.
Oh, who would that? Lin-Manuel Miranda? I mean, who would that be?
Of course. Whoopi Goldberg, probably.
Yeah.
Some of the people that are on his list are friends, family, co-stars, executives. You have Angela Bassett, who it's sent to her and her husband. She has openly admitted that she never shares it with her husband. She eats it by herself.
Wow.
You've got Henry Cavill. He says it's the most decadent and most amazing cake he's ever had. Co-star from Interview with the Vampire, Kirsten Dunst, one of the best coconut cakes I've ever had. I love that she said coconut, because I'm curious, again, how many coconut cakes has she actually had?
I can't think of another single coconut cake being distributed to the masses.
Well, Hostess, they do have those snowballs, which is basically a miniature little coconut cake. But
yeah, now we're thinking about the Suzy Q's again.
I should email them. You've got Rosie O'Donnell, who now every year takes a photograph of the cake and puts it on her Instagram. And everyone, here's what I'm curious about when we try this cake. All the celebrities, we all work in films. We've all been around celebrities.
Showbiz, baby.
Showbiz.
The lights.
The cameras. Some action and then sitting around. When you're around a celebrity, there's a lot of yes men and a lot of, I feel like, over laughing and a lot of it's just bigger responses than it is usually to a normal person.
I can't speak to that because I've never been able to function around a famous
You
person.
do get a little...
I get a little squirmy.
I see them as peers. You see them as idols. So it's a different moment for us. But there's a show that Tom Hanks went on where you tell them what you want your last meal to be.
Oh, okay.
And then they get all those foods together. This cake is what he wants to be the dessert of his last meal. So Tom Hanks wants this to be the last bite of food that he eats before he dies.
Wow.
Before he dies.
Put that on the box.
Put that on the box. Interesting you say that. They don't have a picture of the cake on their website. They make no reference to Tom Cruise on the website.
Really?
If you go to the storefront, it is any bakery USA.
Wow. You think, so many places would just be plastering
That's
that all
exactly
over.
what I said to her. That's exactly what I said to her. We live in a town
Very
where
humble.
you meet people who are like, oh my God, I am best friends with Taylor Swift. And you found out they just walk past her in a mall.
It's like like a dry cleaner, or like a Pink's Hot Dogs, where it's like all the celebrities who've ever been in there. And they're so humble. They have a cake that was put on the map by the world's biggest star, and they're not even mentioning his name on the website.
Not even mentioned on the website. They don't call it the Tom Cruise cake. Goldbelly mentions Tom Cruise.
Of course.
And everyone else does. All the news stories do. And I told them that this podcast, that would be a big part of.
That's so cool of them.
They were so nice. Loved sharing information about it. Loved the history of it. And just a very sweet, humble bakery. I did learn from my research that I find very interesting. When the cruise camp orders these cakes, they basically get what we have here, which is a cake in a white plain box.
Wow.
They then take all of those cakes, and I don't know the number. They also like to be protective of Tom. They don't want to give out too much information about him. I did learn a little bit of trivia that I'm not going to share, but there's another cake that he really likes that he buys for himself.
Wait, why can't you share that?
Well, because she said she doesn't think Tom Cruise would want to be known for two cakes at this restaurant. Let's give him this cake and then let him have his privacy with his own cake.
Okay, we'll put that Tom Cruise's second favorite cake behind the paywall.
I love that.
We'll get a paywall going.
I'll take it to my grave. I'll actually write at the lid of my casket.
Venmo John $5 and he'll send you the name of the cake.
I actually love that because I paid for this cake out of pocket and it wasn't Goldbelly prices, but it wasn't cheap.
Currently, we're a not-for-profit podcast. Not that we are a charity. We just haven't made any money yet.
And I'm not complaining about the price. It's a small business. Oh, that was the other thing
It does seem pretty. It's like, how much is it? 40.
This large size is 55.
55. That's pretty reasonable for a cake. And maybe in Ohio or someplace, that seems like.
Well, and what's good about it, if you're able to go to the bakery, there's 4 different sizes you can choose from. You can get a cupcake for maybe $4. I think maybe $4. They've got a mini bundt, which is $8.
Cute.
They've got a medium size, which is in the 30s, and then this one, which is in the 50s.
Did you get anything else while you were there?
She actually was so sweet and gave me a mini carrot cake because I was telling her about our carrot cake. She's like, since you're doing a podcast on us, I'd love you to try this. And I was like, well, okay. And then she gave me that. So I have that at home to enjoy.
Did you taste that?
I took one little taste of the frosting.
How was it?
I mean, it's cream cheese frosting. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So as I was saying, so his people, his team pick up all of these cakes. I don't know how many it is. They take it to another location and redress them. They get put in a nice, like a fancy box. They get a little like reindeer ornament or Christmas tree ornament. You can see a picture of it on Rosie's Instagram. We'll put it on our Instagram. There's a little note like your name, like John Glover, hopefully in the next year or two. My goal is within Christmas 2025.
That's soon.
A year and 4 months.
Okay.
I mean, what?
If you're wishing.
If you're wishing, I would like to have it this year, but I'm having this
for your birthday.
Like John Glover, Happy Holidays, and then Tom Cruise like printed. I've always loved when you see a celebrity's like letterhead or like
a private letterhead.
I think that is one of the things that makes people celebrity. People that know that they should get a letterhead with their name printed on it. Because I feel like
maybe you should get letterhead with your name printed on it, and then that will like you do.
Yeah.
You do?
Well, yeah.
You have John Glover letterhead? Why have I never seen this? Write me a note. How long have you had this?
A long time. I went through a name phase where I was really into my name and my initials and stuff. I don't even know.
You know, in middle school, I was at like a UPS store with my mom one time, and I saw that like you could get a name tag made, like a plastic name tag, like with the name kind of embossed in it. Like if you worked
you work there?
Like you work somewhere. If you work somewhere, like you would get that for your business. And I asked my mom if I could get one with my name on it. And I wore that to middle school, like a plastic, like I was like an employee at like a 7-Eleven with my name on it.
Really cute.
I think I was into like Laverne and Shirley, so I was kind of into like monograms and my name.
Yeah, I think everyone went through a name phase. And I like over the last like 10 years, monogram stuff was a big thing because I think everyone was into their names.
Is that when you got your letterhead?
Listen, that's not what this. I've told you the story about my Bible, right? My personalized Bible that my grandma gave me.
I don't think so.
But when I was a kid, my grandma gave us all Bibles with our name like written on it in gold. And I loved it. And I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before my grandma passed away, I had come across it again. And I was talking to her on the phone and I was like, oh, Grandma, I found the Bible you gave me with my name printed on it. And she was like, found?
She's like, you read it every night.
Didn't miss a beat. Like, why isn't this on your bedside table? Why don't you read the Bible?
What Bible are you reading then? Grandma, I gotta go.
Bad connection, Grandma. Love you.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
That's cute.
So they're very discreet. They don't want anybody to be able to like track that Tom Cruise. Like, is it just to make the box look like beautiful, or is it like
to make
discretion?
Make it look more Christmassy? Because this is a fine white box, but it's nothing special. And you'll see, it's a super cute thing.
Does he call and do the order, or is it his assistant? I wonder.
No. And Karen was quoted as saying she never even met Tom Cruise.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the relationship that went on with this bakery for 17 years.
It should pop in there.
I know. One person that has gotten on the list recently who has given me hope is this journalist in the UK. His name's Stuart Heritage. And he did a couple of articles kind of calling Tom out, like talking about the cake and then calling Tom out on the cake. Like, I dare you to send me a cake. And then Tom was quoted in an article saying like how he had managed to eat like 2 whole servings of a thing. And like, he couldn't believe he was able to do that. And this guy wrote in his next article, like, I dare you to send me 2 cakes and I'm going to eat both of those cakes and not get sick and blah, blah, blah. Cut 2, he gets 2 cakes sent to him. Now, for last year, the second year in a row, has had 2 cakes sent to him. Now he's like, 2 cakes is too much, actually. I want you to send 1 cake to someone who is just been kicked off the list. And
people get kicked off?
I love that you asked that, even though I kind of set you up for it.
You kind of set me up for that. That's scary. That's the scariest thing I've ever heard. Being on the list and getting kicked off.
I'm going to read something to you.
Okay. I mean, if you're like Harvey Weinstein, like, yeah, kick him off.
Well, yeah, kick him off. All right. I'm going to read this from an interview that I watched yesterday.
Okay. Don't you have like a job? You're like a day job.
Wow.
I mean, I love it.
I do have a job, which I do, and then I do this also.
Okay.
It's all I do. Wait, I was trying to create a moment.
Okay, sorry.
I was on the list for a while. I had a good 10-year run, and I got the coconut cake every year. It was from them and Surrey, and then it was no Surrey and no Katie, and it was just from Tom. Then it went from just Tom for a while, but not every holiday. And then the cake stopped. I want to get back on that cake list. It's the best cake. Tom, I need to get back on the cake list.
Who is that?
Brooke Shields.
Oh my God.
Brooke Shields. And this wasn't just an interview where she, it was written. I watched the video of her saying this. And she's saying it tongue-in-cheek and laughing.
Yeah. But you hear the sadness in her voice.
Oh, yeah.
The grief.
She wants to be on the list. And then I came across that Stewart guy I was telling you about. He has actually written a philosophy on this whole list thing that goes perfectly with the Brooke Shields thing. And he says, first, nobody should ever take the cake for granted. When Tom Cruise cake arrives, it should always come as a wonderful surprise. You should never expect a Tom Cruise cake, and you should certainly never feel entitled to one. Tom Cruise giveth, and he taketh away, and we are not to question his whims. We should only be gracious when he shines his light in our direction.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
I mean, those two things went so perfectly together. I know, man.
That is so,
I'm in deep.
Give this man an EGOT.
I gotta get this cake. And the thing is that I was thinking about after all of this is I can just buy the cake.
That's true. Does Brooke know?
I could buy the $8 version of the cake. But you want the cake in the box,
with
sometimes being flown to the UK on a private plane from Tom Cruise.
Wow.
You want it from Tom Cruise.
So this is a lot to digest.
I got off subject a little bit, and we're getting closer to when we're going to be able to taste this cake. But what I'm curious about is celebrities rave about the cake. Yelp reviewers, very mixed about the cake. And that could be because sometimes people want celebrity things to suck.
Yeah.
It could be that they spent $126 for it and had it shipped to them, and they're having like buyer's remorse.
Well, and things after they get shipped. I mean, a cake fresh from a bakery versus a cake that's been rattling around in a UPS truck for 3 days. It's not going to be the same.
No, it gets sent overnight. Goldbelly, I wanted to do a little plug for them.
Okay.
Goldbelly has helped Doan's Bakery and a lot of small businesses. They exploded during the pandemic. So their business is like
way up.
Their whole philosophy is like, we're not here to get you food cheap. We're here to get you food that everyone wants from around the country, fast, and it's expensive. Like they literally like, it's going to cost you, but you're going to be able to have the Tom Cruise cake tomorrow. Well, actually not, because there is for this cake a wait list. She said it was like weeks before you can actually have it shipped right now.
Wow. Yelpers are a bitter bunch.
They're a bitter bunch. They're a bitter bunch.
I mean, we all know, our old joke about Yelp is like, the server was mean to me. The food was amazing. 1 star.
Yeah, the box had a crease in it. The cake, unreal. 1 star.
This doctor saved my life, gave me emergency surgery. I will live again. The receptionist, I didn't like her tone. 1 star.
Oh, 1 star.
Half a star. Do they do half stars?
No,
so
and people are always mad. People actually write that. They're like, I'm mad that I can't do half a star. I would do less than 1 star. Negative stars.
So rude. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that people on Yelp have unrealistic expectations for how good a cake could be.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to really go in completely blind, and I love white chocolate. I'm a little hesitant about the coconut. I'm not going to lie. I don't imagine a coconut cake being something where I'm like, holy shit.
Do you like coconut cake in general?
I don't know that I've ever had coconut cake.
Whoa.
I like coconut. I love coconut. Do I like a almond joy? Yeah.
Do you prefer amounts?
No. Sometimes I feel like, actually, I always feel like I'm not.
No, that's for sure.
Well, okay. Okay, so that is the bulk of the research that I have done on the bakery and on the cake. I will say that the cake I got serves 12 to 17 people. Oh. She asked how many were in our group. I said 4, but then I added your mom and sister and Daniel. So I was like 7. Group. And I wanted to take a chunk for my actual birthday. So I was like, let's just get the big one.
You're known to take a knob of cake and stash it in your freezer for a few months.
Yeah. And then throw it away like 4 months after my birthday.
Yeah, you're known for that.
I did have one last segment that I would like to do that I'm calling Tom Cruise the Savior. Because they give Tom Cruise, I didn't go into this with the bakery. Everyone in the company, Karen and her son Eric, at one point or another has credited Tom Cruise for helping keep their company alive. Wow. The order that he puts in every Christmas, with how much they had to reduce during the pandemic, they went from being open from like 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon to 9 in the morning until 2, which those are still their hours because people just stopped shopping. Like everything during the pandemic kind of got whittled down. And they are really appreciative to the consistency of his order, which for a small business is just so important.
Yeah, to be able to count on. I mean, how many cakes is it on? Is it like hundreds of cakes that he buys?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's probably top secret information.
So they're very complimentary towards him. I don't want to take away from the small business. Like they're the ones that made the cake. You know, I do want to give him credit. I don't want to say he saved their business, but for the better part of this segment, I want to go through other things that Tom Cruise has gotten credit for saving. The first being Ray-Ban sunglasses. Ray-Ban sunglasses. Did you know that in the 80s, Ray-Ban sunglasses had been around for decades at this point? They were very popular. They were known for 2 iconic lines. They had their aviators, which had been very popular with the public since World War II after General Douglas MacArthur was famously photographed with them on a beach. And then they had their Wayfarers, which were chunky black sunglasses that came out in 1952 and made fashionable by like James Dean and Audrey Hepburn. But by the early 80s, the brand had started to wane. They were facing a lot more competition. There was a lot more eyeglass companies in the game. The 80s was, I don't know. That's before my time.
You're a 90s kid.
I'm a 2000s kid. So there's a lot more sunglass companies in the game. People are making funkier sunglasses.
Yeah, when I think of 80s sunglasses, I think of like asymmetrical, like bright red.
Exactly. Or those ones that the glasses like flip up, but then you have other glasses on underneath them. Okay, so Ray-Ban kind of tanking until Tom Cruise comes along. He's not even a huge star when he makes risky business, but he wears the Wayfarer sunglasses throughout the movie and on the theatrical poster. This is 1983. The film comes out and sales of Ray-Bans rose by 50% to $360,000. And within 5 years of that movie coming out, they were selling 3 to 4 million pairs a year.
Nice.
So he makes one of 2 lines of theirs successful again.
Wow, huge.
Then, 1986, what comes out? Top Gun. He's wearing the aviators. He is very dedicated to the brand of Ray-Ban. So sales of sunglasses rose 40% over the 7 months following the release of Top Gun. It happened again last year when Top Gun Maverick came out. He saves Ray-Ban sunglasses. What else does he save? Well, according to Steven Spielberg, the theatrical movie theater business. Steven Spielberg, on a video that I watched just yesterday, said to Tom Cruise, "You saved Hollywood's ass, and you might have saved theatrical distribution. Seriously, Maverick might have saved the entire theatrical industry."
Oh, wow.
From Steven Spielberg to Tom Cruise's face. I mean, this guy's literally just saving the world, giving out cakes to everybody.
He wants nothing for it.
He just wants to hear how good it is.
Absolutely.
If that's what he wants, Tom Cruise, oh, Tom Cruise, will I call you and tell you how good this cake is, or text you, or send you pictures, or make a TikTok of it,
You
whatever.
can live vicariously through our enjoyment of the cake. We will praise you for your many gifts you've given humanity. We worship you. We love you.
I will watch Minority Report again.
The day he retires, I will weep.
Well, oh, yeah, me too.
What?
In my head, I thought you said died. I was like, well, that's a dark turn. I don't know that he will retire. He seems like a Clint Eastwood. I don't know that he will retire. He'll probably just fall off a plane.
A few summers ago, remember we did Cruising Through Summer, and we watched about all Tom Cruise movies. I recommend that. I mean, it's still kind of summery outside. If you can squeeze in a few Tom Cruise movies, cruise through summer. We watched Cocktail. We watched The Outsiders.
Oh, yeah. I had never seen Cocktail before. There's definitely a lot of movies I haven't seen, or it's been so long and I only saw them once, that I could revisit.
Let me tell you, anytime Tom Cruise is on the screen, you're having a good time.
I agree. So, the last thing I would like to say about Tom Cruise, this literally made me cry at the bakery.
Uh-huh.
I told him I cry so easily. When he heard Karen was sick, he called her. He's like, give me your phone number.
Oh, my God.
And he called her, and apparently they had like a 20-minute conversation.
Oh.
She said she got to flirt with him. Oh. He was just so appreciative of the cake. And she was like, I want to quote her what the granddaughter said. God, I was so embarrassed.
You were crying at the bakery?
I literally cried at the bakery because I was so sad that she had never met him. And I was so sad that she had passed away. And I brought that up to them. And she's like, well, he actually did call her.
I feel like this is like an exclusive scoop. Like
it is.
If you didn't see this anywhere,
I told her, I was like, I haven't seen this anywhere. She's like, we've never talked about it with anyone.
Yeah, because they're not public about it.
No, this isn't what they do.
Breaking news. Wow.
So she said to him, she joked that she flirted with him, and on the phone she told him that when he's in town the next time, she expects to see him pull up on his motorcycle to her house. And he said, Karen, you bet I will.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
That is
so I'm just really glad that this very sweet baker who made this impact on Hollywood very humbly and just loved her cakes and sweets and
her dedication to even work for 15 years before she got like a physical bakery space, and then 10 years before anything even really like
I know. That's what it is. Like, it's like that with what is that phrase that they say? Like, I became famous overnight, but like it took 10 years or whatever. Like, this followed that same kind of thing. It was a long journey to get there. And now this cake is well-deserved in the place of Hollywood.
She has earned it.
She's earned it. So I hope that I am so happy that you're so excited and that we finally get to try this cake.
I'm so excited.
I hope that we honored the family in the bakery and Mr. Cruz and everyone else. I pray. I'm not always a praying man, but I pray to get on this list.
We know you don't crack your Bible too often, John.
If there's found. Yes, Grandma, I found it. If we have any brand freaks out there, I've never put out a call to the freaks to rally the troops. If you have a Tom Cruise connection, let's get this in there.
Text him the link to the pod.
Send him the pod.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Doan's Bakery and the Tom Cruise cake.
So should we do a taste test?
Okay, so we have slices of the cake that we've been talking about and dreaming about for 3 years, and we're going to try them on mic.
Very generously frosting. There's a thick layer of, is it cream cheese frosting?
Ooh,
or white frosting?
Yes, it's cream cheese frosting. There's toasted coconut. Ooh, there's like toasted coconut under the white coconut.
Something throughout. Oh, yeah. There seems to be a ribbon of toasted coconut throughout. And there's also white chocolate chips, studding with white chocolate chips. Okay, I'm going to get a little bite with some frosting.
All right. I've got a little bit of
cake,
everything.
some of that little ribbon. Wow.
God.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Oh, my God. That is unreal.
I do see how that cake should feed 17. I'm a big chunk of cake kind of guy.
I think we gave each other just a taste test of about a square inch, and ooh boy.
Oh my God, it's so moist. The toasted coconut's perfect. There's like these chunks of like creamy white chocolate.
It's sweet but not insane. I don't think this is like cheap birthday cake at a kid's birthday party. This is like perfectly sweet, perfectly balanced, nutty, creamy.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Wow.
I can see why
Brooke Shields is so sad.
Brooke Shields is so sad. I can see why people, if you get one of these in the mail, I see why you are now looking forward to every holiday season getting this cake.
Oh.
It kicks off the holiday. Tom Hanks was saying that in his it gets sent to his office. So like around Thanksgiving, everyone starts like watching the mail, waiting for it to come. When it first comes, everyone's eating big slices. And then as it starts to go away, they're cutting like thinner and thinner slices, trying to make it last as long as possible.
Well, this could be a tradition in your home. You can order it on Goldbelly if you don't live in the LA area and you want to try this cake. Doan's Bakery, Doan is Doan. Doan's Bakery. You can find it on Goldbelly. You can make this a tradition in your home. You could celebrate. You could kick off the holiday season with a Tom Cruise cake. Just like the Hollywood elite.
If you have heard of this cake and have been on the fence about ordering it, I'm having a sugar seizure. If you've been on the fence, I can tell you genuinely, this is so good.
You will not be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed.
What a special treat. This has been such an amazing birthday surprise. I've been talking about this. Honestly, we said 3 years. Like, I think it's even been longer than that we've been talking about ordering this cake. So thank you so much for getting this for a special birthday surprise. I'm so glad we finally got to taste it and to learn so much about the history because, you know, that's very meaningful for us too.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday. I'm glad that I was able to give you a cake once for your birthday. And since I will be at Beyonce on your actual birthday and not able to spend it with you, this is your present.
I'll stick some of this cake in the freezer for you to have on your birthday.
Oh, trust me, I'm leaving here with a big wedge of cake. And hopefully, either by this Christmas or next Christmas, I will be 2/5 of a TGOT. That is my goal.
Emmy and Tom Cruise cake list.
Emmy and Tom Cruise cake.
I love it.
That's the dream. I mean, you got to put it out there or it will never happen.
That's right. Now, if there was one reason for doing this podcast altogether, it's to get on that list.
To be a 2/5 of a TGOT. Well, thank you very much.
I'll just have to settle for being a T.
Hey, if you had to be any of them, well, I do think having an Emmy is great, but a T is good.
You know, I'll take a T.
Yeah.
I don't need a Tony, an Oscar.
I do. I'm not going to lie. I am worried about how I would get a Tony. I feel like, call me delusional. One. I feel like I could get an Oscar.
Okay, how?
You know, and no offense to people that make shorts, but
that is kind of a loophole.
I feel like it's a loophole.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a backdoor.
So I could probably get an Oscar if I put my mind to it. I do think Grammy and Tony are hard.
On Brand, the musical. Live on Broadway.
That's Tony and Grammy, baby, because we got original soundtrack.
That's right.
I love it. All right, well.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for talking Tom Cruise and Doan Bakery with us. If you're a fan of the show, please tell your friends, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. If you have a brand you want us to talk about, or if you've had the Tom Cruise cake, we would love to hear from you guys. Write us a comment on Apple iTunes or check us out on Instagram. We love hearing from you. Next week, we will be back with an all-new brand.
Bye.